Well, everybody, all good things must come to an end, and unfortunately for the Mile High After Party, this is going to be our first low vibe show. We had been 12 in a row, 11 in a row, however many in a
Yeah.
row, with just tremendous vibes across the three of us celebrating Broncos wins. This is the first post game we're doing as a trio where we're not talking about a Broncos win. I think that game was painful and frustrating for a lot of different reasons. It feels like they had some really unfortunate breaks and like referee calls go against them. It also feels like they were outplayed to me.
Yes.
Ultimately, I
Mhm.
think they were the better team in that first half and they were still outscored. But on all of this was a pretty rough one. And I think a sobering note. Hopefully, it refocuses and recenters some things before the playoffs. But before I keep blathering on, let's get into it with our guests, our co-hosts here. To my left, we got David Talks Sports. Find him David Talks Broncos, David Talks Buffs. On my right, we got Mike Carmelini of Mile High Monsters. Make sure you're checking that out. Links should be in all of our descriptions below. If you're watching on one of their channels, I'm Zach with Let's Talk Broncos. Check me out. Fellas, David, I know I think we're all feeling about the same, but you were the most visibly upset when we all hopped in the call. Take me through it. Where are you at right now with this game?
Yeah, well, I'll say this. There was this debate going on all week. Dude, do the Broncos need to drop a game to have a good playoff run? And that's just not how I'm wired. It's not how I'm wired as a fan to ever want to see my team lose. And man, this is disappointing because Jacksonville, they're a good team. They're a hot team. And they hadn't played in a lot of close games as of recently, and I mean, they took maybe a couple punches that we had, but they rolled over us, man. Absolutely, they were the better team today, and it's frustrating, man, to drop a game at home. Like one of the things I really wanted to see was see us go unbeaten at home. Like I wanted to see that happen, and this is frustrating because um, we flailed in the big moments in this game, and we leave the door open for the Los Angeles Chargers over the next couple weeks, man. We could have had this thing close to wrapped up when it comes to right, like the division. Like, didn't we just need to win today? Or maybe it was coupled with their loss to the Cowboys, but this,
Yep.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's just frustrating, man. Like, this is what I'll end on because I don't want to go too long. But last year, it almost felt like we lacked that killer instinct, right? We should have handled Cincinnati. That's how I feel about it, man. And then we had to beat a Chiefs team where everybody was resting guys. Um, yeah, I just wanted to see us finish the job in this one, and then we can debate on how we should finish out these last couple games. But ultimately, just a lackluster performance, and yeah, I'm not really happy with anybody's play aside from RJRV's in this game.
Interesting. Okay, well, we'll definitely get into that. Mike, where are you at? What's your instant reaction to this rough loss?
Man, I'm like David. I'm just disappointed. I mean, I didn't really expect us to win out, but I didn't want to lose at home. I mean, that was just the big one. I wanted to win at home. Um, I said this earlier on Twitter that the Broncos need this one. And what I meant by that is just to keep that home win streak going. Um, that was rough for me. I thought that the Jaguars looked like they just had a lot more energy and we looked flat, all that stuff. I don't know. You were at the stadium, but on TV, it just looked like the Jags were really fired up and we weren't. I thought Bo was having a really good game and nobody else was really. Overall it was just really disappointing for me, Zach. I got my black hat on, so first time.
Yeah,
Finally had to break it out, the black Broncos hat. So
it's sad. It's a rough one today. I think, to go pause it really quick, I will say everybody, let's be real. A lot of people are not going to be wanting to hop in an instant reaction about this game in Broncos country. That was pretty miserable. If you are commiserating with us, please support David, support Mike, support myself. Please like the show, leave a comment. All that stuff really does make a difference for us in the YouTube algorithm. And we'll get your comments up on the screen here once we kind of get through our opening statements. Yeah, this was really rough. Like it was there for the taking, I think, which is so frustrating. And I think in the first half, it kind of got taken from him by the refs and Will Lutz banging the crossbar. And in the second half, it was Vance Joseph in the defense, which I'll get into later. I've got some scores to settle with Vance Joseph in the defense. What the hell, guys? Rock pointing out your morning Broncos hat here.
Yeah.
Funny. But yeah, this is a rough one. I will say Rod Smith he comes in to KOA every week to talk about the Broncos, I think every Tuesday. And this past week he came in and he was like, I think the Broncos really need to lose one of these next 3 games. And he talked about how in 98 and in 97, actually in 97, I don't think they did have a loss fairly late in the season. I'll see if I can get specifics on that really quick. But in 98, they famously start the season 13-0. They lose 2 straight. And he talked about, coming off Super Bowl 32, getting that win, and then going on this incredible run, there was an element of feeling invincible. And that's kind of also looking at the 97 Broncos. They lost 2 of their last 3. Hopefully this team doesn't do that so they can keep the 1 seed. But I think there's some merit to the idea of like getting humbled right now, because I think back to like when you're in high school and you've got teachers or parents trying to tell you to, be responsible, do smart things, like don't drink and drive and all that stuff. And they say, you might feel invincible, but you're not. And a lot of kids, will push those limits because you are invincible until you aren't, and sometimes it takes that awful moment, a sobering mistake, to make you realize, oh my God, I'm not invincible. Life is a very delicate and fragile thing. I need to get my head on straight. Mm-hmm. And it catapulted the 97 Broncos. It catapulted the 1998 Broncos. I think the 2015 Broncos had a similar stretch to close the year. Obviously they beat the Chargers in the last game, but before that, I think the Brock Osweiler's experience was coming to they lost 2 out of 4 to close the season. This is crazy. Every Broncos Super Bowl winning team lost their 3rd to last game of the season. So how about that, guys? How about
what a stat? What a
way
stat
way to bring us back, Zach.
Hey, you know what? That copium will go off once you guys are talking. I'll fire that off on Twitter. But anyway, so I think there is some merit to the idea of like getting recentered, realizing like, whoa, we need to wake up before the playoffs is good. Also, this team has been great when their backs are against the wall. This is going to be this was kind of the first game this season where they were playing a good team and they were the favorite.
Yep.
Their backs weren't up against the wall. And that's the other thing. They didn't need this win. The Jags need this win to try and win the AFC South. The Broncos had a game of cushion. They've now wasted it, but there's their game of cushion. I'm not overly worried, but it's just, man, guys, like, okay, I remember where I was going with this. Sorry. The game took it out of me. I was on air 3 hours this morning. I'm a little sleepy. Okay. And I lost it again. Fuck. I'm sorry. All right. Let me cue you guys up and maybe it'll come back to me and I can stop having senior moments. With this loss, let me start with you this time, Mike. What went wrong? Why are we here? Yeah, just what happened? Give me your what went wrong.
I think I can get existential on this, but I think kind of what you're talking about. I don't know if they were complacent or not. If they were overconfident. I don't believe in trap games at this level, especially against a surging Jags team who's at the top of their division and playing lights out football. They're averaging 34 points a game, which they got tonight, which makes our defense feel a little average. So if you want me to be specific, I am very disappointed in our defense tonight. I think that's what went wrong. I thought Bo was putting on a pretty good game until he wasn't at the end. There was no magic there. But, I mean, at the point when it was a 3-score game and the Jags were seemingly just moving the ball at will, I think it was the defense that kind of went wrong. we never. I guess we're just always waiting for Vance to figure it out and the guys to come through. But PJ Locke, I don't think played a particularly good game tonight at all. The thing about Moss is he's sort of
he missed 2 tackles.
So here's the thing. Well, the missed
And they were
tackles.
bad.
It's all just defense under the umbrella. But the thing that's specifically about Moss is like he makes an amazing play and then a complete shit play. Like there's no in between, solid stuff sometimes with him. And that's probably just because you don't see it when you don't hear about him. But, it's crazy how he could have had a really good game, but he really impacted the game negatively tonight, as well as I thought PJ Locke negatively affected the game. So I'm putting most of this on the defense. Of course, there was the cute play. There's always the cute play that Sean has to do, the triple zip around / 50-yard bomb. But other than that.
Okay, I'm going to jump in really quick and then I'll ask you, David. I'm going to defend Sean Payton on that play call. Every other time it's been called this season, bad play call. Bad play. Literally, I mean this. Every other time it was called this season, it was a bad play call. Because watch what happened on the play. It was blown up for like a 5-yard loss, or it was a nightmare. If Bo throws a better ball, that's
just a good ball. Just an average good ball would have done it. Yeah.
And also, that's on Sutton. Like, was it a perfect ball? No, but it was there. You have 2 hands on it. You get it all the way to the ground, and then it hits the ground and it comes out. So that was like, to me, that's not the play. That's the players. In that one.
Zach, how many times how often does Bo hit that long, deep shot? How often recently?
He hit Troy Franklin today. He had a couple.
Recently. I'm just saying that's not generally his game. He's had some deep overs and some deep balls to Franklin, I guess. But
I'll say again, if
the odds of him hitting that are pretty rare, he's going to underthrow it or overthrow it.
I disagree. You got a wide open receiver 40 yards downfield. Bo has been playing a lot better over the last month. He's second in the NFL at EPA per dropback. If you can't trust the quarterback who's second in the NFL at EPA per dropback to hit a wide open receiver downfield, man, I don't know what you can call.
I'm not saying that you can't run the play. I'm just saying the game was kind of on the line here. Like we're trying to.
Son normally catches those things, man. That still hit him in the hands, right?
And I think Bo's been money. Like I think that was one of his worst throws until he started pressing.
Until he threw the interception when there was a wide open running back right in front of him, and he threw it to Pat. And we got to talk about injuries later too, guys.
We will get. Yeah, that's a good.
I'm gonna start looking for updates on that while you guys.
Yeah, let me know if you see anything about the post game. Yeah, you know what? I think we should circle back because there might be an update and it'd be better to cover this when we know a little more. So let's unpack a little more. Or no, David, I didn't ask you yet. What do you think went wrong? Where are you at? What's your what happened today?
2-parter here. The first thing that went wrong, just a total lack of focus there in the first quarter from the team. You had, again, 3rd down, I think on our first drive, we got RJ Harvey just dropping a wide open pass that would have gone for a 1st down. Now, he ended up waking up. But then also you had defensive miscues there in the first quarter, penalties. Now, some of those were, not great calls, but nonetheless, penalties extending the drives for Jacksonville, and then you're failing to tighten up in the red zone, which is where we've been great all year. But
that's
really,
huge, David. That's huge, man.
Yeah. I think, man, what this comes down to is that we just didn't tighten up, man. When the game was on the line, we flailed and faltered instead of playing well. And it's why, even though Bo Nix, I know we might differ on this, statistically he might have played well, I don't think he played good, because I think when the moment mattered the most, he didn't show up. The Jaleel McLaughlin exchange, that's on him, or partially on him at the very least. One of 2 guys. The 4th down throw to Pat Bryant should have never been thrown. Tyler Bidet is wide open underneath. This is a 4th and 2. Then we're talking about what would have been a 4th and 3 turned into a 4th and 10 because he stepped out of bounds before throwing the
That
ball
was
away.
terrible.
Yeah,
He
that was
closed
bad.
the game.
He lacked focus today in those big moments.
He
Yeah.
closed the game really bad. And I think like Bo Nix was amazing in clutch moments until today.
Yes.
And today he was far from it. And I think that's important to remember. Like, Patrick Mahomes has had plenty of comebacks he's failed to pull off. Josh Allen's had plenty of comebacks he's failed to pull off. Lamar Jackson is more than either of those guys. And we're talking about elite quarterbacks. 2 of those 3 guys have multiple MVPs. The last one has at least 1 MVP. And there's a chance he wins a second this year. Like, Bo Nix has been awesome. He's not going to get every single one of those. And I think he gave them a chance. Now, he also ended their chances with the screw up on the read option. I don't know if that was more clear on the TV copy. In stadium, it looked to me like that was on Bo, not just like either stick. It looked like he tried to have it both ways. Like, he didn't just stick it in, I think that was Harvey. I forget if it was
Harvey.
It was McLaughlin.
Harvey didn't. Was
He
it?
didn't just
He
stick
didn't
it.
want to let go of the ball. He didn't want to let go of the ball.
To me, it looked like
So
Bo
they ended
did
up fighting for it. Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, it didn't look like looked like Bo tried to have it both ways. Maybe it was on Harvey though. I was in stadium. I didn't have the best view, but I mean, that's a terrible mistake. You guys hit some of the throws. We'll get into injuries here eventually when hopefully we know more about him. But obviously, he has that throw that injures Pat Bryant. That at that point in the game, like, it's over. Don't just get out of there safe. And Mike, it looks like you might have an update really quick.
So yeah, Kliss tweeted this out 3 minutes ago. Mostly good news. Movement in his hands and legs.
Okay,
so
good.
it's for concussion and not neurological symptoms, which is all
Good.
very
good.
good news.
Yeah, scary. But I will say that is, it could have been a season-changing update the other way. Is maybe the right way to frame it. It could have been a multi-year changing update if that goes really bad. So you know,
And
concussion
Greenlaw's out
serious.
too.
Yeah, Greenlaw. We need to hear what that situation is. I think you're really
Hamstring.
worried about that with the Justin Sternad area. I mean, linebacker depth was something we've been talking about for a while in Broncos country, and they've been fairly healthy, so it hadn't come up to get them yet. But now they're in a spot where might be getting them. At least Turner had a good game, but oof, this is a rough one. Okay, you talked about some of the officiating, some of the lack of focus. Mike, you talked about the defense. I want to the personal foul on PJ Locke on the false start play. I will tell you from firsthand, as somebody who was in that stadium, they could not hear the whistle. I couldn't hear. No one could hear the whistle, and they called the false start late. That's the other thing. They were well downfield. The ref was, in my view, who threw that flag. He threw it late. It was not called right at the snap. And that crowd, especially in the first quarter before things started going bad, loudest I've heard it in at least a decade. And I was on the beat starting right after the Super Bowl. So I've heard that stadium in all these rough years and everything. By far, I was there earlier this year even for a primetime game. And this is the loudest I've heard Mile High in a long, long, long time. You could not hear a damn thing. Like, my vision was shaking like it was one of those damn TV cameras. It was crazy. There's no way PJ Locke heard that whistle.
No.
And no one heard it. By the way, look at everyone on that play. But Trevor Lawrence and like a couple offensive linemen are the only dudes that stop on it. And I don't know, like, that is a killer. They should have gotten off the field right there. Instead, they get an absolute gift. It leads to 7. You know, they don't call a Brenton Strange push off on the second touchdown, which is fine. I think that's a little ticky-tacky. But then to set up their third touchdown, they call it ticky-tacky ass pass interference on the Broncos. So I don't think you can like legislate that's some asymmetric legislation there, in my opinion. So the refs had me furious. I think they were a big part of the reason the Broncos were down at the end of the first half. And then, you know, they just got outplayed in the second. That's my first little rant. I'll get off my chest. Second one, guys, I don't know, man. Like, I'm getting close to like having some hard conversations about Vance Joseph.
Yeah.
And
I'm ready.
There's like, you don't want to be emotional and all that stuff because he has generally done a good job with this team. But okay, like, what at this point in the rebuild, we're going to be talking about playoffs. and trying to win playoff games. And for all 3 years of this Vance Joseph tenure in Denver, the defense fades down the stretch. And I was honestly really disappointed with Vance Joseph's press conference answer the last week or whatever, when he said, as the season goes on, more films out there, it's just harder to play defense. Why are the other defenses not dropping off?
Yeah.
Why? Because there's still, like, even if you want to say, well, over the last month, there's top 5 defenses for, November 21st to December 21st. That those rankings exist. And the Broncos are like 20th. All right. So why are the other 19 defenses that are like ahead of you over this span? Why can they keep playing? Why aren't offenses catching up to all their stuff, but they're catching up to all Vance Joseph stuff? And last year, I was even defending him on it. I was like, they've got some injuries in the secondary. I don't even know if it's a trend. This could just be a 1-year blip. And last year, the defense was bad. Now it's 3 years in a row. And I mean, I just really hope he gets hired away as a head coach. So we don't have, I know some Broncos fans don't want that. I think Jim Leonard will, he's off that Mike McDonald tree. He will bring this defense a little more modern, I think. I
love how we're not blowing any of this out of proportion and we're keeping it nice and calm here.
I mean, I'm not saying they need to fire the guy. I'm just saying, let's look in the mirror here.
Yeah. It's real. We're
real. At a point, find an answer. Because it's not let's just be real about what this defense is. It's incredibly expensive. They've invested all over that defensive line. They've invested in the linebacker room. You've got a third contract player and a second round contract player in the linebacker room. You've invested in the secondary like crazy. You drafted a first-round pick just to give you extra secondary depth this year. At a point, the Broncos have more invested in their defense maybe than any other team in the league. Potentially. At the very least, it's top 5. So you need top 5 results. That's the hard thing about when you invest that much in defense. When you're working with chicken scratch and you turn it into chicken salad, man, great job for you. Now we applaud you. Whoa, you got the 15th best defense in the league and you had all those guys to work with? Whoa, what a great coaching job. If you've got the best talent in the league, you can't have a bottom 12 defense. You can't have a defense in the bottom third of the league. And this is happening 3 years in a row now. I don't know, man. Vance Joseph needs to have some come to Jesus moments.
I
see people in the comments Martin here. Oh, the Raiders put 21 points up on the Texans and Houston's defenses struggle at times. Yeah, but look at the Texans over the last month. They're still a top 5 defense. We're not talking about a bad game. I'm talking about since the mini bye, the same time the offense started cooking, this is a bottom 10 defense. EPA, success rate. It's not working. And especially on third down, Vance needs to come up with some sort of solution. And last week it was bad. The offense was just so damn good last week, it negated it. Sorry, I know I've been ranting. David, I think I'll let Mike be the voice of reason to close us out here. So I'll start with you.
Well,
am I crazy, David?
If we're talking about the nervous meter last week about the defense, I said I was at a 5. Now I think I'm more so close to a 7 because
I'm an 8. Yeah.
Yeah, I think when you look at the last 4 games, I would say that our defense performed below expectation. And the expectation is that this defense should perform like a top 5 unit. And hats off to Liam Cohen. Somebody said this in the comment, Gator John. He's got Trevor Lawrence playing great, absolutely. But yeah, if you're Vance Joseph, you can't allow Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence to cook you for 34 points at home. That's just inexcusable. It's inexcusable.
Yeah. And perfectly put.
I am worried about PJ Locke at safety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the second half, it was clear that was an adjustment. Let's just keep going at this guy.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. Vance, is this guy a great defensive coordinator worthy of a head coaching job or not? Because if he is a great defensive coordinator, you should, with all the defensive talent, be able to coach around an injury or two.
Yes.
Guess what? Injuries happen in the NFL. And the best coordinator, like Aaron Glenn, who's not really doing great as a head coach this year. Do you know why he got that head coaching job in New York? Because Detroit lost every single starter and half of their backups, and they were still a top 10 defense.
Mm-hmm.
So why are the Broncos a bottom 10 defense with like 2 injuries? I don't know, man. Like, and I know I'm being a little dramatic. I'll own that, but it's just like, are you or are you not what you claim to be? Like, all the talent's on the defense and the results don't follow. So what is it? Right. And the answer doesn't seem overly difficult to me. I really hope he gets a head coaching job because I don't want to fire him. I really would like those 2 third-round picks, but because if it is, they've just caught up to us. How much more simplistic is your defense than every other defense in the NFL?
Is it what Rock is saying here in the comments that, we got PJ Locke and Alex Singleton playing still? Is that?
No, because I agree 100% with Zach. The problem with VJ is he's a 2-trick pony. Now, the worst thing is a 1-trick pony, but he's only got a couple tricks up his sleeve, honestly.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. I think he's good at a couple things that he does. He creates some chaos at the line of scrimmage and can do something with pass rush, but he's also got Zach Allen and Roach and some other good players there. But and then he's blessed to have Moss and PS2. I don't see him making anybody better. Like a couple times a game, he'll call some wild thing that'll kind of work out. But generally, Zach, I think I've said this on the last 4 shows. Between the 20s, there they go. He's not stopping anybody.
And the red zone defense, like that's why they lost today. They couldn't get any red zone. Like,
so they lean on the red zone.
You look at the Packers game. They were great in the red zone on offense, great in the red zone on defense. They win that game. Today was the exact opposite.
So that's the 2-trick pony I was getting to. He can rush the passer. Can't cover a tight end. Can't cover a back out of the field. Can't do any of that stuff. Always somebody. And he can do red zone defense. Those are his 2 things. If you find a way around that, I've never seen him adjust to fix any of that stuff. I've never seen VJ just blow me away with, I mean, of course there are games, but I'm with you, Zach. I've always been like, yeah, he's good. But it seems like sometimes he's just throwing darts at the board to see what works because he's got so many calls. I don't think that's sustainable against good teams. And they're definitely, like you said, it's time to look in the mirror. I think Sean's going to get involved. They're going to have to figure something out because Trevor Lawrence and these guys, yeah, good football team, but let's be honest. This isn't the best team we're going to see in the playoffs.
No, but I will say I am upset with VJ, and I think like these last 2 games and into the playoffs, figure some stuff out, dude. Like this is going to tell us a lot about VJ. I think this remaining stretch. Yes. I will say in his defense, though, Trevor Lawrence played out of his damn mind today. I saw him take like 4 bone rattling hits. And after every time I saw him take one of those, I'm like, all right, we'll see if he keeps making all these passes after that one. And he kept like playing out of his damn mind. It's close to the best I've ever seen Trevor Lawrence play, especially when you factor in like the difficulty of the situation. That defense was flying around in the first quarter. Crowd was super into it. So that's, I mean, one thing I'll defend them on. I also think generally today was the opposite, but generally one thing that I would say in defensive VJ's coaching is they've been a much better second half defense than a first half defense. And that points to some halftime adjustments. Today, he got thoroughly out coached. Like you look at what happened in the first half and then what happened in the second half, like Liam Cohen out adjusted you by a damn mile. Mm-hmm. And I just like, I keep saying the word sobering, but I think that's what comes like, the team needs to go, whoa, okay, maybe we're not as good as we thought we were. Like we need to recenter and figure some stuff out. And VJ needs to do that too. Like I think honestly, like part of the annoyance for me is his answer of just like, well, it's late in the season. It's hard to play defense. It's not for the other teams seemingly. Like, I don't know. Anything else you guys want to say on defense? I know I've been ranting and rambling.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, David.
I think this is fair, man. Where was Nick Bonito, man? I think it's fair that we should have seen him on the field a little bit more. And as I'm going back in the comments with my friend Vegas a little bit, yeah, with VJ, yeah, some of these players haven't played good. Either change
Yeah.
the scheme to fit their strengths or don't play those guys.
Yep, there's a
And
lot of
we're
money
not
over there.
getting either, man. Some of those third down and long scrambles for Trevor Lawrence, completely unexcusable. But we choose to blitz and stay in man coverage on third and long. This has been a theme all throughout the season, and it's burned us. We can't have a spy. At the very least, we can't have a
So
spy on
bad.
Trevor Lawrence, man.
Yeah.
Like any of these things. Some of
I
these
would
things are
love
just back killers, man, back breakers.
I would love to see like the third down. I've looked for it and I haven't been able to find the stat. So if anyone has it, but like anecdotally, I feel like the Broncos have to be one of the worst like 3rd and 7 plus defenses in the league. And it should be the opposite. Like if I were to just like dream up my perfect third down defense, like what do I need? Well, I want great edge rushers. I want great interior pressure that can get there fast. All right, check and check. I want great corners that can lock down in man coverage. Check. Why the hell are you so bad on 3rd and long? Like that makes no sense. I bet they're better on 3rd and 5 than 3rd and 8. Again, totally anecdotal. I would like because whenever defenses or I think it forces offenses, kind of the point you were just making, like they're a little too predictable on 3rd down.
Yeah.
It forces offenses to go to their like designer plays and go like, okay, well, we like this look against the defense. You know what you're getting, and you're able to dial up a win. Like you'll be familiar with this with Robert Livingston, David, and I don't think VJ's as bad as Livingston in this regard,
Yeah.
but it's like, brother, if you play cover one every single down, whenever they need a play, they're going to go, okay, let's run the cover one beater. And they're going to burn your like you. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I know I'm a little, it is a little frustrating for me to see like, because Vance Joseph has done such a great job. But then, like the first third of the season, when the Broncos are winning games, it's like maybe Vance Joseph should be the head coach over Sean Payton. And
Oh
then,
my God.
and then the last third of
No.
the season, the defense can't hold a team under 28 points. They're getting the Raiders to 17 points, which might as well be 50 against any other functioning offense. And it's like, well, guys, playing defense in January, it's hard this time of year. And it's
Yeah, I
like,
don't want to hear that.
what are we doing? Oh my God. And he's a good coach is the other thing. Like you see his halftime adjustments. It is ridiculous to me that they can't figure this out now for the 3rd straight season. And I am looking yes, this is my frustration. I'm looking at VJ a little sideways for it because he's the one telling us, well, it's the circumstance. It's just hard at this time in the year. Look in the mirror, man. It's not just the circumstance.
No, and it's fine to be upset. It's everybody calling, we're elite, we're the greatest, we're this, we're that. VJ's, we're going to lose VJ, pay him anything we can.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like everything else, right? It's like, hey, fine. He's a fine defensive coordinator, but this is a team with Super Bowl aspirations, and he has not done good enough. And this has been a trend. I think these statements started coming out of us at least 6 weeks ago, the concerns about the defense. And it's just growing for me on the defense worry factor meter, whatever we're calling it. I'm at a 9, 8.5, 9 for sure. It's weird to be a Broncos fan and be more worried about the defense than the offense. How long has it been since you could be like, hey, the offense is going to be okay. The defense, I don't know. Now,
And
go ahead.
no, it's
you got some stuff to get off your chest, man. I'm just here to watch it.
you can clearly see how good they can be. Look at the second half of the Packers game. Look at the first quarter of this game. And so I don't know, like that's in there. It does feel like the right levers aren't being pulled to me. I know I'm not doing the best job running this show. My apologies to Mike and David.
No, it's great, man. I'll tell you what, I love that you're emotional about it. I love that you're fired up. I mean, that's what we are here on this show, man. We just tell you like it is. It's like you want the Broncos to win and you want them to make good decisions and do the right thing. And when you see them lose to a team, honestly, that outplayed the shit out of us tonight, to be fair. They were better coached. They were better quarterbacked. They were better defended. I don't know what we did, better special teams. I don't know anything that we did better than maybe sacks, but Bo's just hard to sack. So other than that, they whipped our ass all around. And so we're trying to find somebody to point fingers at. And I think in Zach, VJ is the one that I've been honing in on for a while. So I have absolutely no problem with you going off on the defense tonight, man. It's overdue.
I appreciate you. All right. I want to get into offense in a second, but first, let me look ahead really quick. We knew the Broncos had this game a cushion. They still control their own destiny from here on out. It isn't all doom and gloom. I don't want to be too down, even though I am annoyed. But David, Broncos just need to win these next 2 games. They get the 1 seed. They win the division. They get a Chiefs team that's either playing Gardner Minshew or their 3rd string quarterback.
Their 3rd string. Minshew tore his ACL.
Minshew's out.
Oh, good to know. I was at the game, so I missed that update. Okay, so they're against their 3rd string quarterback. I think you rightfully feel confident about that one, but after this one, they better not be count any chickens before they hatch. How confident are you in the Broncos going 2-0? I don't want to talk about 1 seed because I don't want to factor in the Patriots losing or whatever. Just focusing on the Broncos. How confident are you on them going 2-0 these last games?
8 out of 10. And I would be 10 out of 10 had we just have a victory over Harbaugh and the Chargers over the last year and a half.
Yes, and for people that don't know, just to get to this comment really quick, Olajuwon, I think he's out of like South Dakota State, is the Chiefs' backup. Broncos country will remember him from the Week 18 game last year. Wentz played some of that game, and then I forget if he exited with injury or just for gits and shiggles. But whenever he exited the game, Olajuwon came in and looked terrible, and he did not look good today either. So,
no,
if the Broncos I will tell you right now, if Olajuwon carves up this defense, don't tune in next week.
Yeah, we're going to rename the show.
It's just going to be
about VJ. We're going to rename the show.
It's going to be a hour-long.
Can I answer your question?
Yeah, sorry. Tell me what you think about whatever I asked you about.
Okay.
How confident you feel about the closing
it
out?
So much, Zach. What's so great about this cast is how much we care about this damn team and how we're mostly always so calm and the voice of reason, try to be adults in the room. But F that tonight. I'm having trouble even keeping up with my thoughts, man. But the last 2 games, first of all, if we don't absolutely demolish the Chiefs at Arrowhead, I'm going to be disappointed. And then the Broncos just don't deserve to be the number 1 seed going in. If they can't, they have to. They have to. And the second thing sitting here right now, Zach, you're muted. If I were to bet money on the Chargers and the Broncos right now, I watched that Chargers game today. They absolutely dominated the Cowboys, as they should, on the road. It was not as close as the score, and the score wasn't close. They look like they would beat the crap out of the Jags. I'm just saying. That game is not in our back pocket, and that's one of the reasons why I said we needed this game, because after watching, I don't know, man, those Chargers, I hope they start charging soon.
I will say we saw these Chargers play these Jags, and I think they lost 35-7. So
how long ago was that?
That was before they went on this win streak. That was their last loss, but not too long ago. We're talking about 5 weeks. But they're very beat up. Like, that's part of the thing with the Chargers. I do think the Broncos should be able to win that game. I think I'm at like a 7 now. If I didn't have the last decade of Broncos trauma, I might be at an 8 or a 9.
Okay, that's fair.
But it does feel, and I kept saying it before this one, I hate to admit, but I was like, after this last decade, it's like now the moment I believe in the Broncos, they're going to come up short for me. And no more believing from this fella.
Chargers got the Texans coming up next. We'll learn a lot about
Texans. Gotta win that game,
teams,
man.
But we're going to definitely be rooting for the Texans in that game.
Shout out to Vegas. Nice little holiday Christmas message. I will say to all our viewers, thank you very much for supporting us. Very grateful for it around the holiday season. Hope you have a great holiday with you and yours. I'm not wrapping up, but I just wanted to say it because the comment was there. And we will, just while we're on the topic, I believe all 3 of our current plan is to do some sort of post game for that Christmas Day game. So make sure, we're all on board. Okay, sweet. Yep. So same time here after Thursday should be more fun. Maybe we'll be wearing Santa hats. Hopefully not a black one, Mike.
Short week. Yeah, I don't have a black Santa hat, but
well, don't buy one. That'll be
okay.
ominous. Okay. We went over how confident we are they'll close it out. Offense, Bo Nix, Sean Payton improvement meter. How do we feel about the head coach, the quarterback, how the offense was run today? Mike, let's start with you.
Oh man. I'm gonna go flat. Honestly, the 4 drops in the first half, or Bo would have been like 15 of 17. And then I think the game just kind of got out of hand. They got out of their game. So down on Sean. I mean, I hate to do that without watching the replay. That's what's so tough about these. Like, I don't really know yet, but it didn't look like the team was as ready to play as the competition. So I'm just, to make it as short as possible, I'm going to say flat on Bo. Nothing I saw today changed my opinion on Bo one way or the other, I guess is the best way to put it. I was disappointed in Sean, up against a good team at home. I didn't really like a lot of the things I saw there. I didn't like some of the 4th down decisions. I didn't like some of the play calls. So, David. Sorry, Zach. I just threw it to David.
No. Hey, man, like perfect. We're running the triangle out here.
All right.
Yeah, I think, man. I guess like overall looking at it, it's just kind of, a stock even, a stock flat. I still trust this team. Now, maybe my trust in some of the areas are wavering a little bit, but this is still a 12 and whatever team we got.
3.
Yeah. So still stock even for them. Bo had a bad game. Like, I think he had a bad game. I know you differ on that, Mike. I think
I know he had good. He started out the game really good. But at the end of the day, no, it wasn't a good game.
No,
he had a fumble, he had an interception, he got ugly. He almost killed Bryant, which he took responsible for, by the way, Zach.
That's good. Yeah. So, bad game from Bo, and I'll piggyback on what you said, Mike. The team just wasn't ready, man. We might have been feeling ourselves a little too much, and I'm never one that says we needed a loss. I feel like I'm in the minority when it comes to
we've been saying that on this show, David.
Yeah.
And our other one. Like, we didn't need a loss. We needed a win.
I don't take losing or winning for granted, man, like that. So this was just a bad week. I'm really thankful we only have to wait till Thursday to see this team hopefully chomping at the bit to go out and win.
And that is one thing about that pivotal game against the Chargers now. Broncos are going to have a short week coming off it. Mike, do you want to add something before I do?
Just a real quick update because it means a lot. The Patriots and the Ravens are going at it. Baltimore is up 7, and what's his name? The quarterback for New England,
Jackson
Drake May just got picked off in the red zone. So looking good, right? So far with Baltimore. I picked them to win. They better not let me down.
Man,
that'd be a nice loss if the Patriots
it'd be nice
lose.
to get,
I'm just saying.
It'd be nice to get some help tonight.
Yeah, because everybody else won.
Yeah, it's been bad. It's been a rough day for the Broncos. Appreciate y'all in the chat. I like this little live chat feature where y'all just pop up on the screen. I think that's nice. Bo Nix and Sean Payton, I think I'm a little more positive on both of them than you guys. I think I ultimately agree with you that I can't really say stock up on Payton. I think it would be like a flat. This Broncos staff was outcoached today. That I feel pretty confident about. Like, you win against this defense last week, and it's clear you did not adjust as much for like the rematch as Anthony Campanelli did talking to his mentor, Jeff Hafley. Like, they had better answers this week. And then obviously we talked about the offense out coaching Vance Joseph. They just got out coached. So I can't say stock up. I will say, and this will get lost in the shuffle today, this is an elite run defense, the Jaguars. Just about any way you want to slice it, they're a top 3 run defense. I think they're 3rd in like EPA per rusher allowed, 2nd in rushing success rate allowed. I might have those flip-flopped, but point being, they are a ridiculously good run defense. And the Broncos did a tremendous job running the ball on them today, whether it was Jaleel, whether it was RJ Harvey. Rock had a good comment that they did struggle in the short yardage areas. I think that's meaningful.
Yeah.
Like it cost them points at multiple occasions, and running those really hard to get yards or gaining those really hard to get yards in the run game is the most important aspect of the run game. But this is an elite Jaguars run defense. Like the fact that they were winning in so many aspects, but not in those second and shorts, third and shorts, whatever. It's frustrating, but to me, it's not a panic thing about the run game. It's like, hey, you couldn't just dominate an elite run defense in every facet, but I don't think you should be expected to dominate them in every facet. The fact that, like midway through the third quarter, I don't have I'm glancing up at the stats in the stadium, but like midway through the third quarter, the Broncos are averaging like 7 yards per carry. And
I know 9 in the first half.
9 in the first, and
9.
some of that buoyed by the explosives, certainly. Or the one explosive carry by Harvey, but like that's always been part of the formula. Like Harvey wasn't supposed to be Mr. 4 yards in a cloud of dust. He was supposed to be like, sometimes he gets tackled for 2 or 3, but every now and then he breaks a tackle 20 yards downfield, spins off it, and then out races a fast ass linebacker to the pylon and gets you a touchdown instead of a 15-yard gain. And those hadn't been there. Seeing that today had me feel great about Harvey. He had another explosive reception down the right sideline that ended up getting wasted later in that possession, I'm pretty sure. But I was really excited with what we saw from Harvey. I think McLaughlin had his best game of the season too. And drawing that up for the run game against this Jags defense, it gets Peyton a bit of a tip of the cap from me. Bo, I'm mixed. I feel better about Bo than you guys did. I think he closed the game terribly. The read option, I think, was on him. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe it was on Harvey. But like that'd be the most glaring mistake to me. The 200s or that, and then the Bryant throw. You don't need to throw your receiver into a hit at that stage in the game. The game's over.
Yeah.
The 2 interceptions on 4th down, try and make a play. Those really don't bother me much at all. Missing Beatty, I mind, but you're trying to do something there.
That's just football.
I just ultimately quarterbacks. What we've seen from Bo in the 4th quarter this year is atypical. Quarterbacks tend to be worse when they're down because you got to make a 14-point comeback in 7 minutes here, man. You got to make plays. You can at that point go broke taking a profit. You need a big profit. You need to hit the lotto. And I think you felt him pressing this time in a way where I don't think you felt him pressing in the clutch in past. And I think he's demonstrated enough in the clutch that I'm not sounding the panic alarm. I'm not worried about it. He was not as good as he'd been in those past clutch moments. But I think you put a lot of quarterbacks against this like opportunistic Jaguars defense, plays a lot of zone coverage, and you put them in a 17-point 4th quarter hole, and ask them to dig out of it, and you're going to get turnovers, and you're going to get some weird mistakes because they're pressing a little too hard. And you know what? Credit to Trevor Lawrence. He was put in some hard positions, and I thought the Broncos were going to make him press, and he never did. Bo did, and that was the difference. But I don't feel like my confidence in the defense is rattled. Straight, like going forward, they've got the talent. They could get back to being a top 5 defense and go to the Super Bowl and win it all. Well on the table. But am I confident in that happening? Not at all right now. Just straight up. My confidence in Bo, after the Jets game, after the Giants game, it was a little rattled. Right now, I feel very confident in Bo.
Yeah.
I trust Bo to go out and win that Chiefs game for the Broncos. I trust him to go toe-to-toe with Herbert, even though I think Herbert's the better quarterback right now. Like I think he's been awesome this last month. I cited it earlier in the show. Over the last month, he's second in the NFL in EPA per dropback. EPA per dropback, by the way, is the best MVP indicator in the league. Like it is the best MVP predictor. You look at first in EPA per dropback over the last decade, you're going to see 9 MVPs. It's a great predictor. This guy's second. Over the last month, he's playing at a damn MVP level. Like that ultimately is something I guess I'll hold on to leaving this
Let's
one.
go. Let's go.
We are so spoiled.
Give me
man.
that nerd stuff.
That's
Let's
what
go.
all this is how spoiled we are because we've been
Steak
winning
too
and
buttery.
winning and winning.
Steak too juicy, lobster too buttery.
Yeah,
guys,
exactly.
I got to get into, so I got into the run game there. Got into a lot of elements of offense. Excuse me. Is there anything else you guys want to say on the offense or
Yes.
anything else you want to say on offense?
Everybody dropped one today except maybe Troy Franklin, or did he drop one too?
I think he didn't drop one. I think you might be right.
Oh,
And
that's
big
great.
drops too. Big drops like the Pat
There were big
Bryant one.
drops.
There were a lot of different like sliding doors moments in this game. Like if Lutz hits that chip shot field goal, the math for the comeback is very different for the Broncos.
Yes.
I think that was a really important miss that
I knew that was gonna
had a big impact the rest of the way, that like wasn't always obvious, but I think was felt throughout. And then the Pat Bryant drop at the end of the half, that's a 6-point swing.
Yep.
He catches that ball. Broncos probably at least get 3 there, and the Jaguars probably don't get anything. It's a drop, so it's Broncos get nothing, Jags get 3, and that's lots of that.
Yeah, and on the run game too, I just want to echo. I've said it to you guys. I'll say it again. RJ Harvey, and actually Zach said it tonight on the show already. He loses 2, he loses 2, he gains 1, he gains 3, he goes for 12. He loses 2, he goes for 40. Tonight, he only had 7 carries, averaged 7.1 yards. I mean, Jaleel got 7.4 yards per carry. So that's 2 different backs. So on their opportunities. And by the way, Harvey, nobody steals Harvey from me from tonight. He's my MVP. Harvey is getting bagged on by Colin Cronin on my text like all night, like he's not the one and all that. And I can't wait for him to watch the show because I know he will. So I can tell him wait till the end of the game. That's just how it works with these guys. But he had 71 yards in receiving tonight.
Let's go.
I mean, the guy is a weapon in his rookie year, and we don't have the big back. So he's being overutilized in some ways. He's having to do all the between the tackle type stuff. But guess what? That 38-yard touchdown run, that was between the tackles. So I wouldn't count out RJ Harvey yet. I'm still maybe higher on it than others, but there were still good things to take from this game.
Yes.
On offense. And if this is this is one of Knicks's worst games, which I heard tonight, for 350 yards, his 59.6 completion rating or percentage is not what you want to see over a season, but everybody's going to have a game like that. I mean, he still had an 81 rating. His average pass was 7.5, and he had the one, you're right. He was pressing. He threw the bad. Also, I think he was expecting Bryant to come back to that ball. I can't imagine he threw that with anything else in mind, because the guy was right there. That's kind of one of those that Court would have stopped and turned around and come back and made, and he threw it to Bryant, and Bryant's just coming back. So I kind of forgive both players for that one, even though it was a bad pick, mostly just because Beatty was wide open. Actually, there were 2 other places that were wide open on that play, and that was kind of it for the game.
Yeah, it was.
And for the
painful.
offense.
Painful. First multi-possession loss of the season for the Broncos. That's not the stat you want to have after this one. I am optimistic about RJ Harvey. Averaged 7 yards a carry today. Wasn't out good outside of that one big explosive, but I think him getting that big explosive is what you need to start seeing from Harvey. I don't know if he's ever going to be the most consistent guy down to down, but if he can add that explosive element, it's pretty huge.
You add J.K. Dobbins back to the mix, and I think those 2 will make a very effective weapon.
Yes.
And if it's not J.K., just that bruiser, 3-4 yard, pound them, get them tired, soften them up. And by the way, last thing about defense real quick too, Zach, and I'm sorry. They did get their 5 sacks, which they need to average 5 per game over the last 3 weeks. David, as you remember, you're one that came to break the record. So there's something there too. It's not all doom and gloom.
No.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. I will say I've seen some hate for Riley Moss, excuse me. I thought he had a good game. Like, he missed those 2 tackles. It was horrific. And those are 2 awful
They were bad tackles
plays.
to miss. Yeah.
They were like some of the worst defensive plays of the game. But I guess Riley Moss was getting cooked today. If we want to say like he hurt the team or whatever, I think you can say that. I do not think he got cooked. He had some big plays. He kept the team alive with that PBU in the end zone.
PBU.
So
that's the thing though with Riley. It's always something. There's always a big play that happens.
His bad plays end up being like the biggest play. That dude's got the worst damn luck. I'll also say this, and I'm sorry, JV Top Flight. I'm not trying to pick on you. I'm just going to be very, very real.
No.
I would be legitimately, maybe not shocked, but very surprised if Justin Simmons was added to this roster, entered the starting lineup ahead of PJ Locke, and the defense didn't get obviously worse immediately. Like there was a great like, hey, let's get Champ Bailey out there at corner. I don't think it's gonna go well. Like let's get Aqib Talib back out there. I think he gets torched for a 50-yard touchdown on his first snap. Like Justin Simmons could have been brought back by the Atlanta Falcons for very, very cheap last year, and they willingly let him walk. And any team in the NFL, like the Bills, have been desperate for safety help. The Bills are a team trying to win a Super Bowl right now, desperate for safety help all year long. Run a defense that Justin Simmons should fit. Why isn't he in Buffalo? Why are they calling other dudes off the street and not Justin Simmons? Like, I know we love Justin Simmons, and he got us through some dark, cold years here in Broncos country. I will always love Justin Simmons. I'll push for him to make the Ring of Fame or Ring of Honor, whatever it's called nowadays. But man,
he's 32 years old.
He's not a starting caliber NFL player anymore. Yeah. And he was not aligning with Sean Payton's locker room, I think is a good way to put it.
That's true. And also, it's probably not the type of safety we need right now either.
What we need is JL Skinner out there, baby. Let's see what he can do.
Oh, shit. Did you see what happened to Turner Yell?
Yeah.
That's a legit. Oh, yeah. He got injured. I feel terrible for him. I saw that one and I was like heartbroken.
Gosh, that was heartbreaking.
First game back Skinner, after missing 2 seasons and now another injury. I feel terrible for DTY. Enough bummers, though. Are you guys ready for stars of the game?
Is it time for Skinner, though? Seriously?
I mean, I don't know if it's time for him. It's at least a realistic idea.
Okay.
Like, that's my thing.
Something to talk about, right?
Skinner versus Locke. That's a real conversation we can have.
That's what I'm saying.
Like Simmons versus Locke. Let's talk Aqib Talib versus Riley Moss while we're at it. Like, I don't know. Let's talk. Hey, maybe TD's got some left in the tank.
Yeah, maybe 58 will come back.
Yeah. It was great. It was such a fun time, but it's over now.
It's
sadly.
over.
CJ's not coming back through the doors either. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. Okay. Stars of the game, fellas. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Sorry, David. I'll let you rip off this Band-Aid fast. Who's your star?
I'll piggyback on what Mike had to say. It had to be RJ Harvey. 100.
So you stole mine, even when I told you. You just stole it.
Oh, well, I thought you were going to go with someone different because you talked about him so much.
God, you're such a cruel.
That's what you get for picking second.
I hope I can unsend my Christmas present to you.
Yeah, I'm definitely going RJ Harvey in this one. 120 combined yards.
Second leading receiver, leading rusher.
Yeah. The one guy on our team is making big time plays consistently. So hats off to him. Let's get him the rock more.
I love it. I would agree. I thought he had a really nice bounce back game. Happy to see that from him. We kind of already hit a lot of what I wanted to say about Harvey. Mike, where are you at?
Well, I'll take Sutton. He had 6 catches, 86 yards, and a touchdown. Bo wasn't putting him right in the catch radius tonight.
No.
And he didn't have any touch on the ball. He was throwing rockets on kind of everything tonight. It was my first glance impression of him, even though I still thought he had a pretty good game until the end. But he made a lot of those catches, and I got to see some route running from Court tonight. He's like getting savvy in his old age. I thought Court was in the game. I thought he was one of the guys that looked like he wanted to be there. So I'm gonna shout out Court. It's so hard in a loss like this, but RJ and Court, like those two guys deserve to be shouted out for this game. Yeah. I think.
I fully agree. Court had a couple missed opportunities. We talked about the trick play. We talked about the one in the end zone, or we didn't. But there was also the one in the end zone, which I think that would have been a really hard ball to catch.
That was a tough one.
Bo needs to have a little more touch there. I know it's red zone and it's a tight window, and so he definitely needs to put some heat on that. But maybe ratchet that down a notch or two, and it's a catch. But Sutton also probably, you get 2 hands on it, you should catch it.
You got like 2 fingers on it.
Yeah. But I will say, I think that's another moment where like the Lutz missed field goal comes into play. You have that missed field goal, or if that field goal goes in earlier, you go for it on 4th down, and maybe they don't get it and the point is moot, but there's at least like a 40% chance they do convert that 4th and 3, and now you're just down 7 the rest of the game instead of 14, which would have been really meaningful. And just kept everything alive a little longer, maybe prevented Bo from pressing too much. But I just think there were so many little moments like that. Like that is a huge one. And the Pat Bryant 6-point swing we talked about, just it felt like all the biggest plays win against the Broncos. Like you look at the total yardage and everything, I don't think they were outplayed as strongly as our emotions might be telling us they were. It was just like every single big play win against them, or every break win against them, and just painful way to lose.
They ripped us, man. Yeah, give us your star, Zach.
I'll say you guys, I think, picked the 2 best stars by a good margin. I want to go with Bo here. I won't, but I'll say I want to. His opening touchdown to Sutton was great. I think if he doesn't play this game or play as well as he did today through like the first 2/3 of that game, it's over a lot quicker. I think he gave, and like a couple of those drives go bad because he ends up, screwing up the 4th down or screwing up the read option. Again, maybe that was Harvey, but there were those faults, but he gave that stadium and he gave that team sparks of hope, a chance at life multiple times. And I think with how the defense was playing today, he did a decent job keeping him in it. That said, it ended ugly enough. I can't give him too much credit. I'm going to go with Troy Franklin. Troy Franklin over the last 5 games here has been really consistent, which is the opposite of everything that's described Troy Franklin really up until this stretch. He was targeted 5 times today, comes down with 4 catches for 66 yards.
Yeah.
That means over these last 4 games, he's been targeted 18 times. He has 15 receptions for 117 plus, for 183 yards. So 15 of 18 for 123 yards and a touchdown. Hopefully that's some semblance of him blossoming. Also, there was a really ugly Troy Franklin stat that came out earlier this week. Second most targeted receiver on deep balls this year, only 1 catch. He's 1 of 6 entering this week. He was 1 of 16 on 20+ yard targets to him. Came up with a huge downfield reception today.
I think it was 30 yards.
That from him. Yeah.
I hope it was 30. I hope it was 30 yards and not 20 yards.
Hey, well, he'd be either way. He's 2 of 17 now. In general, I enjoyed what he did today. I'm hoping he's turning a corner. They're going to need it if Pat Bryant misses any significant amount of time. How did you guys feel about Franklin today?
He built on his solid performance last week. Yeah, so that's good to see. That's a silver lining. That's a positive you can take out of this game. Is he was one of the few guys that did not suck today. Let's go.
Yeah, I thought he looked good. He made a catch that I thought was Court at one time, and it was him. And he's catching with his hands again. So when they don't catch with their hands and they catch with their bodies because they've lost confidence. He's catching with his hands. He looks fluid. He's not jumping when he catches. He's still running at full speed when he makes a lot of those catches. And I've liked what I've seen. I've said this earlier in the year. I stand by it. This guy is going to blossom. He's going to be a star. I definitely feel that. I'm very happy with what I've seen from him. I think that's a great call out. And that's 2 weeks in a row that we've called out Franklin. So that means something too. If it comes from the LTB after party, it means something. Yeah. He's probably watching, to be honest with you.
Harvey getting some shout outs too in recent weeks. I'm starting to come around on my copium now. The IV drip's working. They still control their destiny. Yeah. And I will say, I think I go back and forth on this because I do think there's value in like, hey, you got an opportunity right now. This team really should be seizing it. And I think that is still true, but it is important to remember for Broncos country, like this year is gravy. everyone talks about the cheap quarterback or the cheap rookie quarterback contract and how much of a competitive advantage it is. It's a huge competitive advantage. The Broncos, 0 years of it because they've been having to pay Russ. Next year is the first year they get the joy of that competitive advantage.
Mm-hmm.
They paid $50 million a year for Bo last year, or they paid $50 million for Bo last year. They're paying him 37 or so this year. If you want to factor in the Russell Wilson into that equation, which is part of it, that's a bigger cap hit than because of how these quarterbacks are always restructuring their deals. If you wanted to combine Bo and Russ's cap hit this year, I bet the Broncos have a top 10 quarterback cap hit.
Yeah, it was more than Mahomes this year.
That is not surprising in the least to me. Point being, it's these last 2 years, what they've proven, it's like they've been operating with an expensive quarterback. And even more impressive, normally you compensate for that with a lot of draft capital. They've had limited draft capital these last few years because of the Russell Wilson thing. The pipeline has been limited because of how few draft picks they've had. And yet still they're in this spot. The future is very, very bright for this team. But it's...
You or Zan said it the other day, right, Zach? You said that feeling some big splashes, signings in this offseason. Yeah, totally agree with that. It's time, right? Put the chips in, go for it.
We got $40 million in cap space.
Our highest paid player isn't on the team, and he's gone after this year. Yeah, I mean,
4 years.
We're going.
We're doing, baby.
Yeah, we're going.
You got rich ownership, Walmart money. Throw it around. Let's start flexing those bands.
By the way, I'm looking at the updated American Football Conference standings, guys, and the Broncos are still sitting at number 1.
That's right.
Yep.
Let's go.
That's important.
Did you say let's ride?
No, I said important.
Because we can do that one more time.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay.
We should at the end of the season when he comes off of our book, Zach. Can we just call it let's ride? Just for one.
No, I think that's the you're on one of those horses at the grocery store. I think it's finally stopping and you can stop riding if the ride is over. Let's ride from rocks. Let's not go back to those bad days.
No.
I want to get to this question because I have kept throwing busts. Okay. Wasn't it Jaleel who fumbled or misread the play? Possibly. I need to watch the film back on that. In stadium, it looked to me like it was on Bo. In stadium, it's hard to analyze these things. I
don't know. The commentators on the CBS broadcast, they seem to think that it was more Bo's responsibility than McLaughlin's.
Okay. Yeah, I would defer to them.
Bo tried to yank it out of his hands when the running back had committed to holding it. That's what I was saying before. And then Bo just yanked it out like he wanted it back. But it was established that the running back had it. I was just saying, it was just a bad exchange. They must not practice it enough because normally you just get a feel for it. But obviously, he had it in his belly too long, and then the running back clamps down, and that's when the quarterback says, "Okay, well, that's what we're going with." It's normally up to the quarterback to make that decision. So that's why this kind of thing normally goes on the quarterback anyway. But this was definitely established that the running back was going to keep it, and I still thought it was RJ, but I'm being told now that it was Jaleel. I thought that was on Bo, but it was just bad. It just looked like it wasn't practiced enough, and I think they should run more of that. Actually, God, how far did Trevor or Lawrence have every time he had a little RPO run around the end because Cooper wasn't keeping him in. Nobody was keeping him in. He had 12 yards right in front of him every time.
I know. And now that we're talking about the run game a little bit more, I'm wondering, maybe this was kind of because we got down into a deficit. But do you have to do this when you're in a deficit? Just go pure gun all the time? It really felt like maybe that was also something that had to do with the second half just kind of dwindling. I don't feel like we were under center enough.
I'd push back on that a little. Maybe they weren't under center too much. Maybe but they were running the ball still a lot late, and running the ball fairly effectively on some of those, last gasp desperation drives.
Yeah. What I meant though is why do I like him under center? Bo is just even with, I don't know. I just feel like it keeps him in rhythm more, and he just wasn't in rhythm.
It makes him better. No, if they did dial down the under center in this game, they've got to dial it back up. That's helped unlock him over the last month. Excuse me. Closing statements, guys. Unless I'm missing anything here.
It still sucks to be a Kansas City Chiefs fan, baby. It's time to go BTA on Christmas.
I can't wait for it. I hope you're right, David. Mike, how are you closing us out?
I mean, thank God for short weeks, man, because we don't have to wait till Thursday, or
Yeah.
we only have to wait till Thursday for the Broncos to watch it out, to get on the old bidet and clean out the, of the stench of this loss. So it's not the end of the world. We've won a lot of games in a row, and so this show, it just goes to show you, like, it shook us, and it shook our fans, it shook everybody in the chat, and it should. I hope it shook the team. But hey, no time to wallow. You got to get to practice, and you got to work it out, because we're playing again on Christmas, and we will be right here for you after that win. I promise that win. I'll be surprised if the Chiefs even score a point.
Oh my God, Mike! I hope you didn't. Just
oh man, I need that.
I don't have a jinx. If there's any jinx, do you want to talk about jinxes?
Oh no, I was the jinx
today.
Do you
want to talk about the real reason we lost this game, Zach?
Oh no, I know everybody. Okay. I'm here to announce. This is my press con. I'll make this part of my closing statements. I need to do like the Peyton Manning tearful, like, I love you, football. No, I'm not going to any more Broncos games for at least this season. Next season, I'll give it a try. I'm going to give it a try in the preseason next year, and we'll just test out the water.
We'll test it out there,
where it doesn't matter, and we'll see what happens.
Why don't we all go? We should all go.
I'm dead serious. Let's
all go to a preseason game next year together. We'll go to a preseason game, and then we'll test it out.
My girlfriend, we got hooked up last second through a work friend of my girlfriend's, who couldn't make the game. She tore her ACL, so we were able to go.
That's terrible.
She won't be able to go to the postseason games too, and we were like, hey, maybe we'll be able to get some postseason tickets out of this. After the game, we texted her and we were like, never mind. We're not. I will not be attending any postseason games. Do not worry, Broncos country. I am making the sacrifice. If we can get Joey there, though, they seem to win every time that bastard goes. So
let's go. The four of us will go to a preseason game this year, and we'll test it out.
Fingers crossed. Yeah, I need some sage with me or something. But so I'll say that. Now, the other thing I'll say on a more positive note, the Broncos made a couple gambles with their scheduling this year. I'm pretty sure you can reject having multiple short weeks if you want to. You can also definitely request if you want your bye week right after the London game, you can have it, or you can opt to not have it. They took that gamble, worked out. They went 2-0 in those games. They get a bye week later in the season to get healthy for this stretch run. They've been better since the bye week, except for the defense, but the offense has been much better since the bye week. Overall, I think it really helped them out. This is the second gamble they made, where they went, we're okay, we'll take that second short week, we'll play on Christmas. And now you get a short week against the Chiefs team that, it's weird to say this about the Chiefs, but right now in this pocket where we're at, where it's Chris Oladukin starting on a short week for a team that might not have Rashee Rice and might not have Trent McDuffie and all these other injured Chiefs and have nothing to play for. They're probably one of the 10 worst teams in the NFL right now. Maybe
they just got beat by the worst team in the NFL.
Exactly. They just got blown. They didn't just get beat. They got blown out by the Titans.
Yeah.
And so you get that, and then you get an extra long week to prepare for what will be the biggest game of the season. And man, the Broncos made some gambles back in when does the schedule come out? March, whatever, yeah. April, May, something like that. Whenever they do that stupid schedule release spectacular, they made some gambles on it. They have paid off big time now. And now the Broncos just don't have any excuses. I'm sorry. They should be the 1 seed. You need to beat the Chiefs with a third string quarterback. And that the rest of the roster, to my earlier point, is beat to shit already.
Yeah.
Oh, they're terrible.
And then the next week you get a really beat up Chargers team at home with a severe rest advantage. The Broncos having the severe rest advantage.
Yeah. That mile high.
Come on, take care of business.
Sean Payton needs to outcoach Jim Harbaugh just freaking once.
He needs to beat Harbaugh.
When we were talking about a month before the first Chiefs game, and we were talking about how, hey, if these next few games go the Broncos' way, that Chiefs game might eliminate them from the division run. And what did I say? I said they just got to take care of business these next few weeks. Same thing. Take care of business. I'm not even talking about the divisional round. That'll be a tough game. These next 2 weeks, take care of business. Like I'm not really going to be hearing many excuses if the Broncos lose one of these next 2 games.
Wow.
Because I am that confident they'll take care of business. Fellas, or Mike, or not Mike, sorry, David, don't you have work
Oh yeah. I got some sponsors I need to shout out, but man, I got to give a shout out to the Duvals in the chat. You guys are having one of the best years of your existence, and congratulations, y'all played great today. And optimistic Jag fan said Jags just had to sweep y'all's division, nothing personal. I totally didn't realize that the Jacksonville Jaguars swept the AFC West. That's
ridiculous.
Insane. That is insane. Hey, props to Liam Cohen for that. And he's got the Jags playing good football. Now, hey, guys, here's the thing. Kalshi sponsors David Talks Broncos. Thank you guys for allowing me to shout them out here on the channel, on the stream. Use the promo code DTB for a $10 bonus when you deposit 10 on there. Link is in the description of my stream. And I'm going to be back at the well, putting money on the Broncos, not only to win the Super Bowl, I already got money on that, but for them to take care of business on Christmas Day. So you can join me doing that. Whether you're a Broncos fan or a fan of another team, get on Kalshi, you get the best odds over there. And you'll find me back on David Talks Broncos, Zach, and David Talks Buffs talking football this week over on my YouTube channel. So thanks for having me as always, guys.
It's great doing this with y'all, even when it doesn't turn out well. Mike,
shout out
your promo.
I mean, shout out to Let's Talk Broncos and Zach for putting this together. It's a great show, and I love you guys. I get to do shows with you every week. David and I do another show every week, Monsters, and it's so gratifying to work with you guys and to see these names over and over again in the chat all the time. I just love it. I'm at Mile High Monsters - Denver Broncos on YouTube. By the way, I set a goal to hit 1,500 subscribers at the end of the season. I'm at 1,588. I'm 12 away from 1,600 with 2 games to play. If you're watching on LTB or David Talks,
go support them.
Just go over to Monsters and just click the subscribe just for me. My wife might watch it and go, "Oh, I'm so glad I married this guy. He's so sexy. He's got 1,600 subscribers." You might actually be doing me a solid. So if
Mike's
you just go
Hail
over
Marys, guys,
and hit my subscribe. What's that?
I said Mike's throwing Hail Marys, guys. We got to help
Hail Marys. I mean, it's Sunday night. It's early. Anything could happen. If I wake up to 1,600 tomorrow, man, that would be awesome. And so shout out to you guys. You follow us all on Twitter. I see you guys over there. I do want to just say sorry to the chat. We're gonna have to figure something out. You know what? If this show keeps going, we're gonna get somebody to just sign in to help us just keep up with the chat, because there was so many awesome chats tonight, and it's just so hard to. We're so emotional. We're trying to listen to each other talk because we want it to sound. We converse here naturally. We're not putting on an act or anything. And if you're not listening to your co-host talking and you're in the chat, you're missing stuff. And so I apologize that we didn't get to the chat a lot tonight, but it's just hard to do. I'm glad we got it all up on the screen so you guys could at least see everybody. And it's great having everybody back every week and seeing those names, Zach. So just loving the show. And next week's show, or Thursday Christmas show, is going to be a victory, guaranteed, 100%. Carmelini guaranteed, 100%.
I hope you're right, Mike.
No, you don't have to.
Thank you, everybody, for supporting us. Please find us over at Let's Talk Broncos. We got a lot of good stuff. Hey, I think we'll see. I think these next coming months are going to be big for LTB. I'm feeling optimistic. Prayers up for Pat Bryant. Prayers up for Dre Greenlaw. Fingers crossed we get some good news there. We'll be back after the Thursday night football. It is Thursday night football. We're back after Thursday night football on Christmas Day. Everyone tune in there.
You got a Monday show?
Yep, we got a Monday show on LTB. Thanks for reminding me. We'll be Tuesday. Sorry, Tuesday altitude adjustment. Wednesday we'll be back on LTB. I think if Joey and Bree can make Christmas Eve work, we'll find that out. And I will shout out really quick one Jaguars fan. Shout out at Optimistic Jags fan saying all love was a nail biter of the game like every game as a Jags fan. I was about to make a really mean joke about Jacksonville and about Duval County. And I'm not going to purely because of him saying all love and leaving it on a positive note. Now I would feel like a dick to make fun of.
Yeah,
One
congratulations.
of the worst
to you,
counties
Jack.
in Florida. But until next time, everybody, let's go Broncos.
Go Broncos.
Go Broncos.